Welcome another week of light languages and collective healing intentions. We are in week 212 and I'm here with the company of brother Dave and sister Wendy. I'm Ismael Rodriguez, Kukia Nakutiate, and today we are going to share some light languages, Kechianak Anikia, and as every week we are going to start with some blessings. So sister Wendy, you like Kukuishnak Ushiak? All yours.
Yato vespe, itesha, inimi imoroku o te vespala kitiki, malavas mose, simoso paroma, elevashniala konya, akotokimiyama otove miromo ala, alevas mote, iki inamala kituro, ashanoti, samata omaro koko, alizanoto vishmiata, alasata. So grateful for all of the blessings of these gatherings.
Thank you, sister. Brother Dave, Kukushantika wata.
Kaane tia ana tea a ane ea a hewa e kaane tia ane hu ane e a ka e ana te e ana te ia na te hu ane e a te kaane e a tu ane e te e ka ana tu na ane e a ane te ia na ne e ana te ti I ana pa e a ka ana ka tu I'm actually reminded of something that we saw about the drumming, and it reminded me about our sitting around a fire and drumming and doing light languages, and how the drumming synchronizes with our hearts and slowly reduces the beat to a point where we're in a state where we're able to absorb more of the information. And that was I think that was a Bashar clip that we watched, someone asking about the ancient Atlantean different drumming ceremonies that they had, and that's what came to mind.
That's lovely. Thank you, brother. Wachana kuatachene ka nata ana. Ini ikak ot itana ak ok ot ikata itata ina. Jats ana ahano ok otaita taika. Oko andra dike erika uma ka awa. Chevia wa maka chone esisha na koachane. Acho no koko koko tumika ka koko tinaka wachena kiki katanumba kuchonika nanayaka. Awa machena huwa mototeneki ahuna totoketa na ieshe. Ahu machena moha tatu achana matachane kataneka ona anaka inetako teteteki anabuache tane. Aho machane keshe. Aho nakacho nechenaku. Aho nakana chana he. Janika hanu tek ahona. Muki nika ahana taika. Honech echeneka. Ohoma hana teika ahanaya. Kike amoko oto tene ekika anamoko kote kekia. Adana ka ato te tenika kontaida. Amohana tai. Ehitia no kuanaha. Aho, nikanakia na huanata. Shaniaka. Personally, I feel the same. I resonate a lot with that Brother Dave say. The drums, they have that power to go with our heartbeats and somehow it triggers or opens up the connection, the multi-dimensional connection. Mik itikana tot intaka. For me, especially in the beginning of every event, when I am kind of starting to warm up engines and I'm starting to open more my channel, Kiketiana, the drum is something that is a must. It helps me so powerfully to connect straight away. Whether it's if it's coming from someone, a brother or sister playing it, or from my side here. Kukata na cheneta ika atu te tika wabate chanaka. Mik is anawanata. In most of these events, in the English ones and in the Spanish ones, the drum is always present. Mita ako tanta te tikika wamocho it yaka ana. And the drums, they weren't only in the tribes from the Aboriginals in North America. They have been everywhere, in every tribe, everywhere around the world. Tanak atete kaantaya. Wherever you go, there is a different type of drum. Mikes etekiana. The one I use is called djembe. It comes from Africa, and as you can see, it has all the shade from the tree. Miki tiana tiana is handmade. Kuamache neka ato te tiana. And this was a piece of wood and instrument that a friend of mine, when he decided to move from England to Spain, he thought about just beating the drum and getting rid of it, and he said to me, "Do you want it?" And I say, "Yeah, of course I want it." But I never knew that this was going to be a piece of something so present in every event that I run. So always in the beginning we play drums, and we will be always playing our drums. Itana, and it goes with, like Brother Dave say, it goes with our heart, and opens up layers and layers within that might be sometimes blocked, and it breaks through anything. So powerful. Mikanata, for me, is another light language. It's another light language when we play. And when we follow that rhythm, I do the same that with the light languages. I just let myself flow. I never went to any academy to play drum or to learn how to play drum. It's something that it has come naturally. We used to play like 20 people in the same room, all together, each of us with a different drum. Mekitiana, we were just jamming and allowing spontaneously anything to come through. Kanetiana, and that is a really magic experience. Taka kotenetakiana. Ahamata, tika wanatatiana wata. One of the things I've been feeling to talk about this week is about all these changes that we are all experiencing. Also the effect from the full moon that is having massive impact in our life. Tikante tikiti anatawama sesi satiana. And to me, the figure of the eagle, represents strength, power, courage, ka'anak aniyadna, and the ability to see things from different perspectives. Recently, I've been kind of dealing with some requests for help from people, sisters and brothers who are going through difficulties breaking up in their own relationships, and experiencing narcissistic behaviors from their partners. And many of these sisters and brothers, they are realizing that that is not love. So today I want to invoke the spirit of the ego, so that everyone get that power and strength to face all the changes that we are facing. Kamakes isi nik eneta enata ana, and not only to get our energy back, but to stand for our truth, to stand for the love we feel, kamakiana, and start opening our wings so that we can see everything from many different angles. Tamake senete kiantoite, senekiti titi amaku kotete anamakuate. Taana kuote teti kiamuku tutiti ka kukunteti kiamamakua. Sano moho ota tete kiakuata. Asene kititi anawanakata. Kuone emeka ota tete mika woma. Shana kua chana watatiana. Ehiana wata. So it's an angelic invocation to heal, guide, and protect our children. And it says the following. Thank you. Amen. Tasane esi mi ka mota ui sawu ma usti sanawu ishene ka u toidei mamu kuta ni ka wamachi asani ka nudo chana mu ka auto de sanu ko te tine mi ka wamada te ki maku sani ka tu ika wana te ki ka mama tu kuti kiti ka maku tiki amoko osoto tiki amoko to tika wana te hana wane kawani kawa te kia watate. Wana te tia wama. Our love to you all. Kama kwana, children, kwana, tika wama, ika wana, beloved children, kukwata, jana wana. Jana, our future. Kana jana wate. Meke tamu machenia. Ekiana wana te tiana wana tiana wanata. Eni tiana. And I brought with me another invocation that is for power and will. The power and will that we need to face with all these changes that we are experiencing. And the angelic invocations for the higher will and empowerment. Supreme divine energies and power. Thank you. Amen. Dama, Tenika, Mosutikamu. Sano kocheneke nitamokwa. Seni mikiti anahua tetikia mama chunikana. Jesanako chenekiti anamoko ta anu tuti imakuana. Sa neka mama chete eke chanu kute nebia. Omaku chenakwa tenekio matekia maku tetetia makuata. Mika ano tutuikia makuatata. Mika tutiana wanana, tika nawada. Wonderful. In shamanism, the ego is also the gatekeeper of the East. Mika ata nika onuk oko taina. And as we well know, there is so much conflict if we go in that direction towards the East in our planet. So today we are going to send also a lot of love to all these areas in conflict from the East. So that our planet also gets through these transitional times the best way possible. Sanika Natayanavu Makana Kutenaka Tena Tawa Matai Chena Uhuma Chai Awo machai makua chana wate. Jenegetiana wanetia sawama for our children. I said my intention for our children. Tamakwate. Seniki emekitiana. Senikiana. I said the intentions to send love to all the couples, all these couples who are waking up, realizing that they might not be anymore in the same frequency and making together. I want to send love so that they can deal with those changes the best way possible also. I want to send love to stop that friction and conflict that might cause the breaking up. And I want to send them love so that they can come to self-awareness, self-love, increase their consciousness so that they can realize that there is no point in fighting but accepting those changes and loving each other just in a different way, for their own sake and for the sake of their children. Mahatenika motata te amo, senikiti amoko chenikiti antikeata, amuka naasa tetiana. And this blood moon from October is doing that, is shaking, is really shaking, and is bringing everything that is not resonating any longer in our lives, anything that is there no longer serving our highest good. Is bringing everything to the surface. I want to send them love so that they can see also everything from perspective. Mekia tiana wana, tano kate tiana wana tekia wana, siana, and so that they don't fall in the old patterns from our previous generations. That anything that wouldn't be like the dream of staying in one relationship forever, anything breaking that dream was understood as a mistake or as a failure. And when we realize that we no longer resonate with a relationship with someone, there is nothing wrong with that. It's just not nature. It's just nature. It's this in the same way that an eagle wouldn't leave his brother alone just for the sake of saying, oh, all right, okay, I leave you there. I don't want to see you anymore, brother or sister. We don't do that. They don't feel like that. They don't feel like I'm leaving you alone. They just continue with the cycle of life. And I believe that they are an example for humanity to also understand changes and embrace changes. Mahanata, when these changes come, to understand them and don't stop fighting. Because what makes us fight is the disillusion, to see that something that we dreamt of, that we thought that was going to last forever, just break. It just stops. But we have that power to see that as another wonderful and divine lesson and the continuation of our growth. And I want to send love to increase the love and consciousness in every couple so that they understand that their children and the happiness Tiana is so important, and they don't deserve to suffer Mekiakata Sesiana, everything that they go through. Tiana. Ahwana for peace, Mahatiana, Siniakata is my intentions. Mahanetiana Kututiana. Okay, Hikiana. Sister Wendy, do you want to share any intention? Tamakiamu kutia mamachika tawata. So much energy. Kuachamba kuchiana, watikia tutitiana, watititiana, kutitiana, wata, tiani, kititiana, wata. Kiana.
Wow.
I would like your invocation to be our shared intention.
I mean,
perfect and perfectly synchronistic.
Exactly. Every layer of every synchronicity of everything you said, because we created our own reality. We have obviously everything in our world is a reflection of where we are and vibrating at that time, at this moment. And the synchronicities of every single thing you said about everything are exactly what I'm experiencing in my own life in a very real way, deeply, everything. And just the whole children thing and the all of that, and the eagle spirit, the synchronicities, which is what I was going to mention to you earlier about. I just posted the pictures that I took, and maybe I think it was probably 10 years ago. I took these photos of an eagle, and I just reposted them yesterday, I think it was. The Native Americans, as Dave also mentioned, the drums. My own son is a drummer. He's a percussionist. He actually did study it in school as well. So I've been with that idea of the drums all of his life. And the layers of synchronicities that you were talking about relating to even him and his life. The Native American idea also of the spirit of the eagle, how it here, at least in the United States, no one other than a Native American can touch an eagle feather. When I took those photos of the eagle, I was as close as I could get with my camera that I had at the time. And that eagle looked me right in the eyes. Right in the eyes. It was a connection like I've never had before in that way. So everything, and the eagle is the symbol, as you probably already know, in the United States. That is a symbol that we use for freedom. The eagle has no predator. And so it is when we think about seeing something, we want to see it with eagle eye vision. That is so to be able to look at the world from the eagle's eyes as it's flying over is something that I did with an eagle, and it showed me what it was seeing. It was incredible. These are the kind of shamanic experiences that we can have when we open ourselves to these ideas and these vibrations. And so I was jaw-dropping at every single thing that you said, and how, but then again, I laugh because I'm like, of course it's going to be vibrationally everything that, because that's would be why I'm drawn to be here in this space today. Because I do, I want all of those things, and to those things to be, whatever our idea is of healing and healed, whatever that means, that's what everyone wants, is inner peace. They want to know they're loved and that they're as important as anything and everything else. And we spend our entire lives looking for that. That's what freedom is. That's freedom. Knowing we are completely and utterly supported and loved every moment, despite our circumstances, as we're told, because we know that they are all for us, by us, on some level, for our highest growth. The eagle is the highest spirit in the air, as the whale is, as the elephant is to the, the whale is to the water, as the elephant is to the land, the eagle is to the sky. And anyway, so
Is that what you saw?
yes. And while you were talking, an armadillo walked by. It just was walking along the whole time you're talking, right around the tent here. It was so funny. So anyway, so as far as my intention is, of course, to mirror everything that your intention is for today, because I know that's perfect for what it needs to be today. So yes, and I told Dave that we should start a fire and just dance around the fire, sing, bring our drums out. That drum, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you about the synchronicity with my son, is he had a drum very similar. He called it a doumbek.
Yeah, I know them. I know them.
And he had a beautiful doumbek, and he grew up with it, kind of. So I see that drum as a symbol for him, as his symbol. And I want nothing more for him to feel free like an eagle, whatever that means to him, whatever freedom means to him, that is what I want for him, and so this is perfect and beautiful and perfect timing in so many ways. The levels of healing are I just can't even believe it, everything that, so yeah, very synchronistic. So wow.
I got goosebumps.
I don't know.
So maybe this is valuable as the armadillo.
Sorry, I'm messing you up. Sorry about that.
And I'll read a lot of different things about armadillos, but this seems most relevant. Armadillo totem people may seem aloof and arrogant, but it's their way of staying detached from drama. They prefer to socialize one-on-one rather than in larger groups. It will also help you release your burdens without taking on the energy for themselves. People with their armadillo totem are non-judgmental and walk away from drama, preferring not to engage in the conflict.
Wow.
The potato beetle, they hide their true selves from others and are careful exposing their hearts to others. But once you have their trust, their friendship lasts a lifetime.
What a beautiful symbol.
Perfect alignment with what we are saying. Huachan.
So perfect.
The armadillo wanted to join us, Kuanekana, and say, check out my meaning, my totem meaning, Kuatetiana, because it's so much in alignment with everything that you are saying and everything that you are facing on earth. Thank you, Armadillo, for coming to the event, Kuakanete, and showing up. Kuachanekatan, Shawanata. What are your intentions, Brother Dave?
There we go. Hang on.
Well, as you have invoked all the angels, and I suppose you could say there's really an infinite number of them, specializing, being excited to specialize in all kinds of different things, to be available to always help us. I would like to have the intention of inviting all of their energies to help assist and participate in not only our own lives but everyone's lives, and in that commonality we could all join together. And the other day we were reading some oracle cards about the new moon and the super moon, and the idea of peace and how to bring about peace in our own lives internally, but also externally. And certainly I would say the angelic energies are very much in alignment with the idea of peace. And by having peace, the frequencies of peace really bring forth the healing that everyone is looking for. And I remember first communicating to the angels, and they sort of showed me the idea of how they're always so present, and almost showing me a picture of how frustrating it is to be so close, and all you need to do is ask for their help, and they're there to jump right on it. And just they're experiencing the idea of how many people are afraid to ask for help, and are afraid to ask help from the angels. And that's their highest excitement, to be of help and of service. And we should never hesitate to ask. And you know, I guess as it says, as it's asked, it is given. So.
Thank you, brother. Wata. Wonderful, wonderful intention. And now we are going to support these intentions with our light languages. So if you are at home watching this video, please join us. Join us with your prayers, or if you want to use your light languages because you got them activated, please do it. Or if you want to play your drum, whatever you like to use or play. For as long as we use love, supporting these intentions, anything Kiakwana is welcome. Hacheni is yaua katemia wa patukuapa so sontimaku patatekwa samucho ike chechewa iyawana tomaka oche uma cheka pote kia wane kia wata wika na wu chachawana chane kuwatena kiana uhana tene kianue shanawa na teka wa macha to hanakua tenika amoto taiche. We take deep breaths, kuana, with the intention of opening our hearts, tamakawana, to send love and more love, tikawama, to support every intention. Mekita makuke tia mamachagia, aneka ato te kawu acheri kawaba, chane kawate na mokoche nekia tuiche, ahana kuotana wane, echi no kui sapui, hei akutai itawu. Awana kai shabu machena kaheya, ika umachane kaku umachane. Hai nau hoda chena hua Echa huma chane ka huma chena ku Hane ka huma chena ku cheya Huma chane ka muhachi ana kumahu Hana ku hei chatu ku cheta keya Kanu ka sheya ku kana ka sheyu Amate tamaku chene kipa ko awe kaika Uma chana ku katana moko chone kataya Eme cha uma kachane kanani kawane taku inek Moka chana mui kawa chana iya watana Hanaku hote neke maku kachane ka moke na wute neka hotaye Amoka tene makuma chane kacheno Kanaku tono kochena kuchane kachukun Amucha ne que te jueta ahote ni ya watana Amumma chane kama macheka tateme kayamaka Ahana tamako atena katena makui kia moku teka maki Amoko sana ta chuniki kia makua Sanai hamakoa Amoka ne mama chene cheche shawa Amoka anataka Hamoka kuasana Amokiana, release all the fears, Namakaata, Ekika, so that you can express yourselves. Mikawana, your truth and authenticity. Hamakuata nakuana, it will lead you to open your wings. Maka chone chanoka asanawo ahanakanata. Give and receive, even in those circumstances when you are going through the most difficult tikawana experiences. Namakana, give and receive, do not contract and close. Namakawana, open your hearts. Nanekiana, moments for a lot of learning. Kamokane, for a lot of expansion. Mikana, to be hakuana examples to your children on earth. Makatenia kuatanchai emi kawata tekiki watancha machukatu machia watawo eshiya wo mek aku achane ahana kana hano kono hatamo hatataya koka ucha kochita tuko akaika utocho itachama aha muhatana echawana katochenya Awana kari kaji ita wamba Wocha na kuwa chenaka Udani ma wocha neka Wocha Ma kucha ta kukwata
Amea tahebe heshana kiwahana yiwa unomura hake. Hano akolete vese heshano kohoa. Se me alava se shuku halakahi. No me alava se te akashatalu. Mela haleato vashanaki. Eluha, Meshela kahe, Elanaya he, Oma hela kelo Eloha, Morushe akateana, eteaha. Shiato hi mai kia wahateki imawa ima wahana ite. Remember how to speak with the animals and see their spirit, their message. Nyawaka te heme wa oshomaro koapete. Singaya te meva hama amata. Ezemishi inahana ate. Open your hearts to Gaia and all the creatures. Kiamoro hama ateva onono. And begin to see the reflections of yourselves. Mayuhake ama iwahinene. Iwahane shapoko ama illusionake. Iwahala ivesumo no maruha. Inahewa uhononoma. Ehata inahia. It is their world. Yaruma hakani kamato. Ijanitivismatati isha. That you must learn to live in harmony with. To hear the messages through the eagle's cry, the wind in its wings, the strength and the quiet and the peace of the armadillo as it walks by, the beautiful depth of the messages of the animal spirit guides. Malohami te maharoko. Te mimahi wahini shebi nuake indi rasumoto ve samaha. When you can embrace every creature as equal, as fascinating, as perfect, as necessary, as everything else in creation. You will just begin to know yourself. This is the teachings of the first reflections of God, the angels. Wings. You have created the image of the wings as a symbol of your own freedom, your own peace. Your consciousness is already flying. Allow yourselves to fly. Your world, your body is all within you. Your mind is within your consciousness. There is never outer peace until there is inner peace. And inner peace is no judgment. This is what the angels teach. Perfection in all things, all creation. This is what the animals teach. This is what the plants teach. The trees. Without them, you could not be. Allow this intention of gratitude and appreciation for all things. Fill your heart, fill your being. And there's the
The armadillo is literally just hanging out.
The armadillo is just sitting right here beside us. It's right there.
He's like, do you want guys confirmation There you are. You still doubt with your minds? Here I am. I come around again. Kamusaneata. Chiamoka chanakitanakana.
Here, Dave can talk. Hang on.
When we take life really for what it is, and we live life just the way the animals do, just going on with the flow, we don't find life as complex as we tend to. Yeah, what you were saying, brother. Huachana.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh,
Right
okay.
now. But not before.
Oh,
Is that
Oh.
Palo Santo?
I said no, this is just a fire starter stick.
Fire start.
But yeah, the armadillo is literally right next to me, watching me outside.
Yep, there it is.
Like doing like this, like I'm watching.
Walking around.
Just walking around.
Is it very common to see armadillos over there?
Yes.
Yeah, but not like 5 feet away.
Not usually. Yeah, they don't. Usually
Not so close, no? No. Oh
Can
my
you turn
God.
the camera on and show them?
Sabush.
It might.
Hold on.
Turn off the
How do
sound.
I flip the camera?
Well, here, turn the sound off for a minute.
Okay, one moment.
It's okay, it's okay. They do whatever you need to do. Hanuka chamachane. Anechana kateana kaanateata. Remember that if there is anything that I need to edit later on, I can edit it. Mahanika anatoita ma ocheni ikia mamachuka taoba. Oh, tenekia to. Oh my God, look at it. Oh my God, I've never seen it like so so much like that. Muka ane chiana mu hawana. What a beauty. What a beautiful place where you live. Mahanacho anakiana. There's so much good energy there. Hachona kachene ya kachene. Hanutia na watana makuata. Kika ana tutea na kia makuchana. Mika makutea nikana watete. Ki kamo machiana. O kaano te ni kaana sano tia na wumachene. They say honor everything that you have. Kia nak on tata, because the universe is always providing just what you need for every moment in your evolutionary trajectory. Kamoa china kuatana makuti ni kawatitata chenne channa kikamota titiana take life makuata as it is naka antesa hokana hauna fly with the wind and not against the wind maka ato tene mu dasa aquata honor the rain kawana. Honor every single word and message that our sister Wendy and brother Dave say before. Hamos asene ekato tei, ki kaato tamo kaato tete, sana akana. And I say that because sometimes the vibration that I'm feeling is telling me exactly the same that you were saying, guys. Na makachina kutu itata sonika tawanata. So I don't feel like repeating the same because you just said it before. Subakachu ni katonita moche shatika watika totayana. Pure alignment. And they always say that when you are authentic, when you are pure, in your heart, Tamake Shana, you create the divine connection together. Mahatanteana. So any message can come through any of you Ka'anakata, and often the same message will come at the same time through you guys, Machaneana, or any circle of people or any group of people who also gather and share everything just as they bakateana, as it comes through and as they are makitana naturally. Mika ato tetia ma kotetia tu pakwata. And they also say never forget through these transitional times to find time and space to share joy. Ha'ana ate etiana. Something that will be like unthinkable when we are going through breaking up situations or understanding more relationships between we human. Remember to bring joy, because it's gonna really transcend all that density that you might be experiencing. And remember that your partner, no matter what is doing or she's doing or he's doing, is helping you, is assisting you in the process of your evolution. At the end of the day, we are all assisting each other. So please, you are listening to this or watching this video and you are going through a similar situation, please remember that, because everyone in your life is there for a reason, a very meaningful reason, a very divine reason. So it's a call for peace, Miyaka, as we mentioned before. Towards the east, towards the west, towards the south, and towards the north. Mahatiana, in every direction. Mikiana kwata chawanata hahuanahu aho tikawata shawata.
Ia ka ne i te ia ka ane tutua ne te ka ane te ia na nua. Wata ununea te ane te nua te itana ne o te a ka ane te tia. Tā ne te ka ane e te ia ka ane e a wata wa. Ana ta tenua ai ka na te ka nei ne tutua ne. Wana te ia na a. Ana te tu ana te tu ane ia ka ane ata ane tu ha e ane te ka ane te e ana ai ko ana te I na e awa ana te ia ka ane e ia wana te ia tu
Oh, that felt wonderful, brother. Mahuatita tu bachate.
Want to show you something?
As cleansing and activation. Tamaka chani kachana watiana wata. Shikawanata. Chukwata chakayana tu te meka mako achane kata amoha atuya mako acha. Chikwanatiana watiana. Tikawa machu kupache kwa teti ya mambo popo chunchiana wana. Hiana waniana watiana. Did any codes come to you through you, Sister Wendy? Mahatiane kiyama tu chianuaka achochia.
Okay, that's just, you guys are just too weird. Dave just said to me, did you get it? Did you write down any symbols? And then he was like, right then you asked. And I was just looking at okay, so I was getting a few things, but I told him, I said, I didn't write any as fat anyway. I didn't write as many as I was getting ready to write, but at the very beginning, this symbol right there came up.
Beautiful. Wow.
As like, that was just the first thing I drew was that. And to me, I see the eagle.
I see the eagle also.
And
very
so
much.
it was like, it was very fluid. So that was the very first thing that came to me. And then I was writing other notes about everything else. And then today's date, I also wanted to add, is the 18th of October, and so we have the 8 in the 18th, then we have 8 for the 2024. Today's date also equals 18. So today I'm seeing this 888 energy, very angelic energy. Like, and then when it's because it's the 8s, it's the 3 infinity symbols. And the idea that there's 3 of them, the whole idea of the Trinity, the Christ consciousness, many of the things that we've discussed throughout, several of these events. So, a deep, so we have a race car in the neighborhood. So I just, it's like, okay, loud and clear, right?
We cannot hear it at this
Oh,
site.
good. It's really loud here. And then I was just starting to write some more symbols, and then Dave said that, and then you said that. So it was kind of funny, but that was the very first one that came to me. And then the idea of the 888 energy, I thought, was very powerful. And that's been a powerful number for us throughout this whole year, because it's been a number 8 year.
Yeah.
And that very special 888 gateway this year.
Yeah.
So for me, it felt like a very perfect and powerful, numerically also angelic, representationally, very, very high energy and very high vibration.
Yeah.
When we realize that the angels are God wanting to see itself, and that is, and they are the first reflection. When we can embrace that frequency, that is when we see our own reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
As God.
Yeah. And many of the messages that we mentioned before, they are related to that, to understand that your partner, everything that is going on, is part of the same infinite. So don't fight against it. Don't argue against yourselves, because you are one. At the end of the day, you are one, and we are experiencing that. We are experiencing the wholeness. We are experiencing that our partner is part of that, the ignition of your own evolution. Nikana Kiana, your partner is there for an incredible reason. Ahiana Tiana, no matter what the reasons for splitting up or breaking up is.
I want to expand on that as well, because of course that means something to me because of my own circumstances and following my heart. And that was, it's like, it was like, it felt like the repercussions of following my heart were all wrong. You know what I mean? That I'd done something wrong. That by understanding that relationship was beautiful in what it needed to be, and yet something I needed to follow my heart. And even though we look at a relationship with anything that we feel like, oh, well, because I've devoted so much time to it, that means I can't move on, even though we are not in the same vibration. That is a belief that we all need to recognize right now.
Yeah.
That's not an angelic belief. That's a human belief.
It's a human belief, exactly. It's based in a system belief, a programming that we've been receiving from religions, from so many things, that where we need to just understand that everything is co-creating with us. And there is a surprise here about someone that we love so dearly, Mekiana, and is joining us right now. You will see her. in a moment.
Ah,
Is someone connected to the dragons?
I knew it. And look, look at all the symbols I just wrote.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, my dear.
How you doing? Beautiful.
Wow, hatumasacha
Oh my God.
watika wata.
That's so funny. I have had so many dragon synchronicities just in the last week. I cannot even tell you, my dear. So take it away. Niatove Spaciano.
I've actually had a new dragon come in the last week. He's a young dragon, and apparently he wants to join me on my adventures. I'm going north. There are some standing stones apparently a bit further north of here, and I've always wanted to go there, but it's sort of on the way to somewhere else I'm going. And yes, I'm told that he wants to go with me because there's a portal there apparently, a dimensional portal. So that'll be interesting.
Aturika moa chana wote chaka wata ni yoro kuika wana. Te amora kuike towi makachare ki awara na kawata ya. Ore makua chene kiko wana na koteki antutuku irika wana kata. Chokuan chakwana kata. Chokuane kia wana ka. Sukuana. We are also kings of the skies. Mika atu nika wata shat. Just as the eagle is. Maka chota yata wata. Yeah, the dragons are very, very present. Also, Mika to Antiana. In these times we are, transcending Makwata, so much density. Mika to te, Mika amotate, tia 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 wamachano watia tia. Sinika.
So much change going on. Be open to it. Many good things to come.
Many things to come, so just let the old patterns go, so that you can embrace the new. Mikaana, Seti iti tiamo, Kuka tetiana, Ahuna, Kukana, release anything that is not serving you. Kaamo sanete teia, Sana taana tawa, Chenakia tomachane, Tonika ana tatayana. You are always look after Kaamo tatuana, Ekiana, we are always taking care of you. Makaantu tachana, but you need to let it go, and you need to let yourself flow. Mahana tachone. Have faith, mana, seishinia, anutana kaana. At the end of the day, it's your own decision. Mahana is your decision to make. Mahana tuta natuta, sanotane, nenena. Nothing can force you to take any direction. Kanat anata. You are free on earth. Mahato majesha sanotana tana ishenesha watoa wanawacha wacha wanawa sao nakwa osa otawo joa wanawa eswakwa namuk adwa sawata.
Oh, that made me hot. Hang on, I'll put my jacket off.
The heat of the dragon. And look at that, they are making a fire there. Mukachane kawatina wata. Oh, what a beautiful place. The Makwana fire place.
Allow the fire of your heart.
That's why I'm
spread.
laughing. As soon as I turn the camera to the fire, she says, "It's getting really hot in here."
Yeah, it was a perfect synchronicity.
Ni tua
Beautiful.
shaka ha na tia wa hasho na roko embi sesesha. Ina mahama ono no roko embi ki joja. Ini ki anda hasalo ko zungo ebe humu no roko bahani. Iza she wahana etebe subo onho okokua. I was gonna contact you. I just heard, I was listening to a clip of Bashar was talking about dragons. And I was like, I gotta call Will. Okay, we gotta do something, because I was like, oh, this is such a perfect synchronicity. So here's the fire in honor of everything we've talked about today. And I'm reminded of something I saw an event in my area. But it made me think of, they were talking about intentions and manifestations, believe it or not. So I was reminded just now for people to use that as, you know, right now we're in the full moon energy, to use that as maybe I did myself. I just, a ritual where you write something on the paper and then you burn it. Whatever it is that you want to manifest, or however you want to look at it, and burn it, and
Let it go.
and then let it go. And really, with great speed, my life changed like forever, dramatically.
Wow.
It was much quicker and with much more ease and grace than I could have imagined. So the dragon spirit really I feel that energy right now too, that it's a very high vibrational energy spirit that presents itself to us in the form of a dragon. And because there's really nothing bigger than the sky that can contain its energy in our world. Much like the whale that needs the ocean, and just like the elephant needs the land, it requires that much literal like space, as we understand space, to even exist here, because its energy is so big and beautiful and archetypically so high vibrational. It's I believe very misunderstood. And so I just wanted to take this moment to kind of honor that today as part of our intentions. And I really believe that all the spirits indigenous across this planet, including not only exclusive to the Native Americans, that I believe that this idea, this ritual, this fire, this honoring all the beings of the creatures of earth is not a new age thing. Quite the contrary. It's angelic at its best. It's the purest. It's we really look at fire as a purification process. We really do.
Yeah.
Very much.
And I think that the dragon energy is brought here for us to understand that idea too of a purification process, whatever that means, just to whomever, however you define that.
And in week
Not sure.
211, Sister Wendy felt also that she felt, I'm not sure if it was in 211 or 210, she had that feeling of talking to you and Sister Willow, and maybe do something together connected to the dragons, Mika and Nata. And when she mentioned it, I felt it so powerful in my heart too. It was like, oh yeah. And she didn't say who to do that collaboration with, and in my heart was Sister Willow. And suddenly she mentioned it just few seconds later. Sister Willow, wow, watika watai sawanata. And I say, yes, she is. So maga to te tiana kute niha kana tata tiana. So I want to set the intention also, so that this possible project might manifest at some point. Kia kuntiana watiania matutiana, because I know that you will really do something amazing together. Musatea mukatatiana.
Yeah, I was gonna send her a message and say, okay, so when do you want to start Dragon Night?
Dragon Light. Oh, that's
Right,
amazing, okay. An amazing name to create another event, the Dragon Light.
Oh,
I've been very present.
I like that Dragon Light. I was like, oh, Dragon Night. Oh, Dragon Light. Yeah. No, I like that better.
But that's the beauty of it. Things just drop out of your mouth without realizing, but what's come out was appropriate. You think it's a mistake,
awesome.
But it's like, no, that's exactly what they wanted.
I mean, that's so perfect, because I was thinking, wow, what would I call it? It's like, oh my God, Dragon Light. That's freaking perfect.
That's perfect.
It's perfect.
Oh my
God. They are very present. I've noticed them very, very present recently. Because I kind of had a period of time where things were a bit quiet, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? But now it's all sort of coming in full force again. And I'm finding with my healings as well, they're coming in with those. Not that they ever didn't, but sort of more strongly. And I was reminded, because many, many years ago, I did a meditation where I was, I guess, essentially taught this healing modality that they called Dragon's Breath. I've since heard there is such a thing. I didn't know it at the time. But so I was reminded to utilize the Dragon's Breath. So I have been doing that also with my healings and on myself too.
Hutian mosta tian nuka sutian tawa patakana seyana wotana. I feel such a strong connection between you and the dragons. Namaku chanika tutai nika atotaibe hanuta tiana wata senika nata. You will perfectly know everything as you go on pikawana. Collaborating together, you will know everything. Kuaka, Watiana, Wana, Seiana, Wamatiana, Hotiana, because they will interact. Mikana, all dragons, Makubata, Tiana, creating a space for the dragons. The dragon light, Mukuachana Kochana.
Si arochne riach urma naroya si hartumayet armaniete so uruch akarnak eniete arko. They're really pleased about that, because like they're sort of saying, oh, we really want, humanity to embrace the healing energy that we bring in. And there are many people who like fear dragons, but that's only because that's how they've been portrayed, in our media. And in movies and shows and things, but they've been portrayed incorrectly, and it goes back to medieval times even. But they've just been well misunderstood, and I think it's time to turn it around. To make people realize that we are here for their benefit. To help, to protect, and to heal.
This whole thing, that whole idea of Dragon's Light, and it may have already been used, or somebody may be already using that term or whatever, but I just feel like this too, looking at the fire, I feel like that is like the Dragon's Light, like, because that's how we have portrayed them as, is that is their light, is fire. That is their form of transformation, is fire. That is their power. And I think it's become the human, a human's power too. Learning about fire like changed everything. But this idea that the transformational light of fire, and also I tie that into, when I first started invoking the angels, many, many years ago, I did it with a candle, firelight. There was something very specific about lighting a candle to invoke higher dimensional energy, angelic energy. They light a candle. That's what they, in most places of spiritual or religious practice, lighting a candle, I think, is part of most, if not all of them. And as you said, anciently as well, from the beginning, fire was representation of that power.
100%.
And the phoenix, the understanding of the phoenix,
and the
rising.
Wow, that felt like a fusion of both beings, eagle and dragon. Stamakwatan, the phoenix, Mukwata Nuata, with the fire. Hosai Shanak Unnata Andana, Net iti net anate, Donika Anutotoine. When I think I was 18 or 19, I had this man coming from the other side of Spain who just had a dream with me, and he wanted to just tell me about the dream, because it was an important dream to save my family from the abuse that we were receiving from my dad. Nek is anata ana. And the first thing that this medium told me is that I had a phoenix with me all the time. When I asked him, what is that phoenix about? He said, it's your spirit guide. He is always with you, and he's kind of like the angels, but like angels from many, many, many realms. It's like the angels are kind of more dedicated to humanity, Mahatiana, more focused in humanity, and the phoenixes from that realm, they go and do the same work that angels do, but in many, many other dimensions. Tamakiana, they are also very powerful beings. Interacting and helping the phoenixes.
Interesting you mentioned about the phoenix, you being told that the phoenix was with you. I've been told the same thing. I've been told that there was a phoenix with me. It chose to stay with me because apparently in a previous life, I saved one. I don't know whether it's injured or something, and I revived it and I saved it, and so it's been with me ever since. I just thought it was interesting when you said that little story. I thought, wow, I really resonate with that.
And it was Sister Wendy who started mentioning Watina.
Well, when you were talking about dragons and angels, I kind of had this vision. I saw a dragon on one side and an angel on the other, and they moved towards each other, and they sort of connected and became a phoenix. So I thought, well, that was an interesting little vision.
Yeah, I had the same with between the eagle and the dragon. I had the same vision, but they merging together, like the eagle and the dragon, with the fire together.
Boy, so now I see the eagle, see the eagle, the dragon, the phoenix, and an angel.
All are very connected.
Yes, exactly. That energy. Dave's tending the fire. That energy is. I can't even. It's like, imagine the vision of that, of all of them. So like merging into or standing around the fire.
Oh my!
They're all standing around the fire. Hot to watch that.
Tuguaka
Yeah.
tuanata kuachana buakata. O hatia makote tene kawa macha. O tachawa takuakan tue makachuana. Jenekia tuatate. Amokachene kitea yama. Hate mahana. Akuana huana we invoke you Hawata. Shiana, we know you are here. Mukuasha. Shiana, eagle, angels, dragons, namakia. Tomasaita chua. Ohana o chai yamakaana. Chika atota. Oh hataye. Hatona teana. And so many more beings.
You know, I had a funny synchronicity today. Right before your event, I read someone posting, and I know this person. She's a channel. Her husband's a channel as well, a pretty well-known one. And she said, "I don't care anymore. I am who I am. I own all of my draconian lifetimes, and I don't care what anybody says anymore. I'm going to channel them. I don't care anymore." I just read this, and I thought, you know, something has, and I know what she recently channeled in a relatively large event with a lot of all of the well-known channelers, and I suspect her dragon energy was really probably, I'm guessing, this is only a speculation on my part as being an empath, that all of these things would come into play for her, and she's owning it and owning it big. And she said, "And I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and that is that." It was like, so I just remembered that, so I wanted to share that too, that we are not the only ones who are feeling this energy. And she said the same thing about the misunderstanding. So I was like, well, you never know, maybe she might like to join us sometime and talk about her relationship to those ideas, and maybe she might like to bring in some of her channeled dragon energy. So see how these things morph. And it may or may not happen, but now that I know that I can't imagine something that doesn't already exist, I already know it exists in some timeline, some reality that already exists, or I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah. And there are so many people out there that they hear the word draconian, and straight away they start feeling, oh, negative beings.
Thing is that the draconians and the dragons are not even really the same thing, and this is the whole thing too. So
Agreed.
there's a huge, many layers of misunderstandings going on here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they always tell me the same way as humans. There are good humans and bad humans. The same way in every species and race
Right.
exists.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
and bad.
I remember the very first time I became aware I've had a reptilian lifetime. And I was just, like, I was horrified. I'm like, oh my God, I've been a reptilian. This came to me through meditation. I had the visions.
Oh my God.
And then but when I realized that the planet that my dragon actually took me there, the planet was like it was half white, half dark. So half light, half dark. And so I realized that there were light dragons as well as the darker ones.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, as you say, like humans or any other race, you have the good ones and you have the bad ones. So
Yeah, very much. And also the recognition that we have in our human genetic or genes, we have also reptilian origins.
yeah, it's like a brain stem. Yeah, it's like a primordial brain stem. Yeah.
Yeah, Juan Tatiana. So
I always believed that I had one white dragon and one black dragon as my like guides.
Mhm.
And I became aware of that quite a long time ago. And I don't know, just a lot of, I really don't know that much about the whole, I don't really know anything about dragons, not really, other than what, I don't.
They say that's why you will be doing that event. All the information will come through Hatiana. That's what they say.
Look,
Wendy, I don't know a lot either. All I know is that they have hugely powerful, loving hearts, and they are healing. They are protective. I've been protected by my dragon a couple of times on the road. I'm very grateful for that, but I know he watches over me all the time. Even though I'm not aware of him being there, I do know that he's always there and watching over me and keeping me safe. And it's funny because I go to this meditation group and the lady whose premises is that, she has a dog, and she said to me the other week, she said, when you leave, can you take your dragons with you, because my dog wouldn't come in the house. the dog would be scared of the dragons, because it often doesn't come near me. I'm like, it likes everybody. Why does it not like me? But no, it kind of comes up to me and goes, oh no, and runs away.
Because the dog become protective, believing that it needs to protect the owner and the house. But I'm sure that deep inside the dog, the spirit of the dog also knows that the dragons are not there to do any harm. I
was reminded that the eagle, I believe the eagle has the largest nest of all birds. And for some reason, I was just thinking about that, about nest and making a nest and building a nest, creating a home. So somehow that idea also just came up of eagle's nest, and somehow it, like the idea of, like what that would look like, a dragon's nest, like, and I think
Sister Willow has seen a few.
I don't know that I have, actually.
No?
So
when you went to save that baby one, you didn't see the nest?
That was the phoenix, but I don't remember it. All I remember, that's what I was told by a medium, a psychic, or whatever you want to call it.
Something just came into my awareness about that.
Sorry, Wendy.
Wendy?
No, I just said something just came into my awareness about it, about the eagle's nest, and then I saw like an image in my mind of what I would think as a big dragon's nest, and I don't even know that that's a thing,
Yeah, I don't know. I just had an image of like a cave, a large cavern sort of thing, and I've just sort of seen the floor sort of covered in eggs. Dragon's eggs.
Yeah.
I also get that more like a cave. Bigana and crystals.
Ooh, yes. Oh my God. I've seen a vision of that, actually, now that you mention that. That's really funny you said that. I remember going into a meditation, going into a cave with a being like that type of a being, and it was all crystal.
Watcha.
Yeah.
Mucha ato aku artumaku rikar umukuru kurana uruanarakwa socha nauruha hua mokato tachonaika sorumak aro tachokwa moto oto teya.
Well, I have to say also, there's a lot of television shows over the years, BBC included, big time, in my own experiences with accepting of other beings because of all the sci-fi shows, and and I always thought it was a pretty normal thing. And I remember seeing an episode of, gosh, what was it now? I don't remember, maybe Doctor Who, I think it was. And it was like two reptilian females, and they were, in a relationship, and it was like the weirdest thing. I was like, oh wow, I've done that. You know what I mean? It was like, and it wasn't even like, didn't even skip a beat. You know what I mean? It was like I was them. It was almost like I was looking in the mirror, and I thought, well, this is the thing. We have to, not have to. nobody has to do anything. We're invited.
Interesting you mentioned the Doctor Who thing. I think I've just seen that episode recently.
No way.
But it was actually, two females, but one was actually humanoid. So one was the reptilian, and the other one was a human.
Yes, right. It was Doctor Who. Dave's seen it too.
Yeah, I just saw it recently this week.
No way. Oh my God. And I haven't seen that one in many, many years. And it was just something about it was so heartwarming about their relationship. And it was so beautiful and so loving. And I was like,
the reptilian female was so beautiful. Like I just thought she was absolutely beautiful.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening to me? Why am I feeling this way? What is this attraction? Why do I feel like I've done this before? I'm telling you, it was freaky. And now you're telling me, what made me even think to bring that up right now? And you're telling me you just watched that episode. Are you kidding? And it's old. Well, they're all old. But...
Yeah, I've probably seen it years before because these are all repeats now. But yes, I did just expect.
And we keep up as much as we can on the current as they allow in America. So Dave and I we love Doctor Who. I've been watching it since, oh my God, I've been watching it since the early 80s.
We love Doctor Who, but we don't love all the episodes.
Wow. That's a different topic for only recently. But anyway, that's a different story. But nonetheless.
I think I actually had one because I record them because they're on at a time that either I'm watching something else or when I'm not able to watch. But sometimes, as you say, there might be an episode and I'm just like, no, I'm just not really into this one, and I just turn it off and I won't watch it. Most of them are good, but yes, occasionally there's one that just kind of doesn't feel right, so I won't watch it. I haven't really put the finger on what the topic was that sort of didn't sit right with me, but there was something about it that didn't sit right.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things, but yeah, we certainly don't need to pick that apart right now.
We are so sensitive now about these things, no? It's like something that in the past we will watch anyway because it's part of the series, but nowadays anything that doesn't resonate, we just turn the page.
Yeah, Dave and I were just like, I don't like the vibration of this. I don't like this, where the writers are going with this. I don't really like the way this feels.
It's all part of us.
We don't even stop for a second to think about it. We just...
But there it is, you guys. Just what Dave just said. Repeat that, Dave.
It's all part of us. So accepting all of us in all the forms is part of our
That's
work.
what it's about. It's just, there's nothing that's not us. If we're experiencing it, there's nothing that's not a part of creation that is not relevant to our current timeline, to our current experience. There's nothing that's not relevant. So so obviously it's relevant to us, those of, us just even having this conversation. But yes, exactly. Accepting all of the all that we are. All of it, every bit of it, even what we have come to misunderstand and label and define and judge, all of it.
Yeah.
That's ascension.
Yeah, but if we come across with an episode that we don't like, we can turn it off. If we want to, because we got the freedom. We have the freedom to say, no anymore. I went through all that drama. I won't go again into that.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just turn our attention to something
else. Now we can say, we've been there, we've done that, and it was fun when it lasted, but that's not for me today, and it's all good.
Yeah.
Sometimes the point of it is we're connecting with that version of ourselves so we could offer a different perspective to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Atuma kachuna ka. Uta tata
think about all of us, you guys, speaking light languages, and the people that may listen to these or that do listen to these recordings, you know, I speak for myself only in that, you know, noto kwa shohane kwa ki maheva hane chakwana seto yinda yasa. Don't you think that might freak somebody out? You know, because they don't understand, and and because I can't say, well, you know, how do you know what you're doing and connecting to and saying? And because I know my heart. That anything less than the highest, it can't come into my vibration. It's not physically possible. It's not vibrationally possible. It's just not. It's not frequentially possible.
Yep.
It just isn't. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. What I'm saying is it's just like everything else. It's a choice of a vibration.
Yeah.
It's there. I embrace its isness.
Yeah.
You know.
But you don't have to play in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're free to choose.
You just observe it from you know. We only get as embroiled in it as we allow, and as relevant to our we can call it joy and excitement, but is as relevant to our soul growth and our theme, which we still get to decide day every minute. We still get to decide, especially now that we're aware that we can literally change our blueprint realities. We get to experience anything we want now. There's nothing we're attached to anymore. You know, oh, I have to live this out because this was my no.
No.
It doesn't need to be in a particular way. You just we can just let it come out as it is, makiana, whatever. We don't even know what we are going to do every time that we start one of these events. And as we go on, after 10 minutes or so, I completely forget that we are recording. Me too. You just mention it and I say, oh, we are recording? Oh yeah, we are recording. So yeah, we got into that so often now for so many years that now we just are what we are, makiana, we accept it, makachana, and we allow and let anything that wants to come through just to come through and be expressed. We trust that anything coming through is what is meant to be expressed. To others. Kachana, kuchana, chanata. And that gives us a sense of freedom that is unstoppable. Kaanata, and that heals our system when we truly just flow. Kanata, fully trusting that what is going through, no matter how unlogical it is to the mind, Makata, it has a big purpose. How often I have mentioned something that after channeling that, I say, wow, I ask myself, why did I say that? Why did I say that? And then few days later, once I publish the video, some people come and say, thank you for saying that. Thank you for telling us that information. And I say, I don't even know why I say it. And I didn't even know that I say it sometimes. Sometimes I'm aware of what is coming through, and sometimes I completely forget a few seconds later. And that is something that we are also allowing more and more, just to be ourselves and trust that that's the best for the highest good of all. As long as the intention is good, as long as the intention is love, any outcome is gonna be good. Any expression is gonna create a good outcome. Because you are creating from love. You are creating from love. So nothing can go wrong if you do it. And if anything goes wrong, it's actually right, because it's gonna create something in someone that is gonna say, oh my God, thanks to that mistake that you made, now I can see this and that and that. So start trusting the philharmonic orchestra of the whole symphony. Ma che anni te akia matuchiana of the creation. Tama kuchana tachona. And that include dragons, elementals, bakuchenika totene, every being. And it's important that we transcend all those tags and judgments that we have made about negative beings. Not only about draconians, but any being from any realm. And embrace that they were there for a reason as well. There is no mistake. They are not part of the creation by mistake. They were there for a reason, and that's also very important to understand in the times that we are living now, because everything is happening for our highest good. Mika, and if we don't see that today, we will see it in few days or in few months. We will say, oh my God, all that crap was actually so much understanding, so much light, and so meaningful. Mika to tochita kwa chenta taita tatina kwa tatemi ama soni kanuta oseja toma chai. Joy tukuanchana. Live every experience with joy. Hatota, we've been telling you for decades and decades and decades. Makotatete. I remember when they were bringing these messages in like 10 years ago, that every time that they were mentioning joy, remember to live life with joy. That was like something unthinkable, because I was in the beginning of my awakening in 2012. And I was always saying, like, why they keep saying joy and joy and joy when I'm not capable to create joy by myself, not as I wanted to. And as I was dropping layers and layers of programming and layers and healing, also layers and layers of the past, I was realizing that everything was in my hand. Everything was in my hand to choose to create more spaces of joy. Mikata, kikatota. How often we create a collective light language transmission and we end laughing. And we don't even know why we are laughing, but we have plenty of joy in our hearts. And that make us feel like children again. Tamo kochono tita kuku tumuku tu kuichata chando kuchuku macha kutu kumuchu tu wika watatika watate chata kwata. Okay, I think I needed to say that. I had that in my chest somewhere.
What were you trying to do? Bring in some fairies or something? Because they came in for me when you were speaking. Sia arokokumani ai chena oruna anturu ushtuna akena tena e na toku tunalake. Honor the earth as we, the fairies, do. Sina arokumani, sina arokuwaye na, because she looks after you well. So ura chena arokunaye, and if you look after her, all will be well. Si narutu u anyeta ara. Much abuse has been acted out upon the earth. Sina arukumani, sina arukuni aratuuna. It's time for people to awaken and realize what they are doing. Sina rihina arukunuha, sina araturunawe tina ara. Care for your earth, sina tina, for your earth mother. Sina turuwanayete. Allow her to nurture you, and as you nurture her, it is a symbiotic relationship. Tina tukunuye. What you put out is what you will receive. Sina tikaranturanya. It is all a personal perspective. Well, that was interesting. That last bit, a personal perspective. That was interesting. I don't know where that one came from.
I love it.
Definitely lots of fairies around here for sure. Well, it is. That's true. It is definitely a personal perspective. Everything is.
Everything is. And we putting together all these perspectives and learning from each other so much from each of that perspective and interpretation. Beautiful mirrors and reflections.
I have a synchronicity to tell you before we go. We have to go feed the dog. We have another YouTube channel where we talk about like camping things, and I end every video by saying that the word journey begins and ends with the word joy. And that's how I end every video. That is how I end it, because literally the word journey begins and ends with the word joy. So it was just something my guides one day. So when you were talking about joy, and I remember all the songs from the early Abraham Hicks videos where it was joy is the key, joy is the key. That was the song. Joy is the key, and that just stuck in my head. And so yeah, one day I was just writing the word journey, and it was like it jumped out at me. And I'm sure it's not like a I'm sure I'm not the only human who's ever seen that, in the word, but it just like really jumped out at me. And it was like that stuck in my head that, there really is joy in every journey. And if we think about even the most difficult times, and yes, even us children who had traumatic childhoods and all of those things, there were still moments of joy, I think, that we can all at least recall, I think. And I, of course, I can't speak for everybody. But I think when people look at it, if they're looking back at, like we tend to do as humans because we're linear, and then that includes me, when I'm connecting that past to this now, which I'm actually creating now, but that's a whole nother story. But when when I'm connecting to those, I realize that, of course, what my soul growth, why I had to experience those things. Sometimes we don't know until we're transitioned. We just aren't gonna know why until then. So
I pray for us to learn the reasons before we transcend.
I know.
I always
Me
ask
too.
for that every day. Please let me know why all of this. Please let me know. And sometimes take months of years, even years, for me to learn why all of that happened. But yeah, what in Akiana? I think we are vibrating in such a level already that we are allowed more to recognize by ourselves why we go through so many experiences. I truly believe that at some point we will need to transcend to understand the whole thing. But we are going into that direction of discovery and understanding anything and everything that we experience. And
I don't worry too much about trying to fathom why things have occurred. I just see them all as growth lessons and ways to grow and increase your vibration. And you're talking about joy. I got to say, my life is joyful. My life is joyful because it's like they say, as within, so without. Well, as within, in here, I'm just full of joy. So my life out there is all just full of joy.
I think it's very important what Sister Willow said to don't get stuck all the time in what is the meaning of what you are experiencing, because sometimes that can hold us back from flowing in the joy.
I just find the energy of acceptance has been for me
Yes.
very, very strong. Several
Surrender.
years ago, I sort of came to that, and I suddenly realised, wow, if I'm in acceptance of these things, that like this, there's no resistance, there's no, you don't get any bad feelings. Everything's just like, okay, I accept that this is how it is, and
Yes.
and it is, and it's amazing how much peace actually that has brought to me, having that whole energy of acceptance of what is. It's really been a quite an eye-opening realization.
They were showing me before the vision of the eagle when it's going with the wind. Instead of resisting the wind, it follows the new forces of the wind. It never resisted. It just go like planning, like and just flows. And they were showing me that vision so that we humans also allow life to flow the same way. Instead of seeing life as obstacles, understand life as the wind that is holding you in the air and taking you to different places, and you can use that wind to just move effortlessly to other understandings and other dimensions and other things. That is an infinite amount of possibilities what we can experience when we just surrender to what life is and what our soul wants to experience. Mahateni kawate chia kwa kato kwa chane chawoto machodi kwa tatacho aru kwa chana wata chicha wakawuta o tatacho neka shisha ka ana shija. Another message they wanted me to say today that I channeled like 2 or 3 days ago is that they were showing me once again the planet as our home, and for some reason I was feeling the urge to start communicating people the need for us to learn one language that we can all understand, because they were showing me that we live in a planet that we call home, but in that home we don't all speak the same language. We speak the language of love, but there are so many people still stuck in the mind, and for all of those to connect, they were telling me that it will be important to create a language that will connect everyone, because when you get to know a sister or a brother from a different culture, and I can tell that from experience, because when I learned English, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I ever did in my life, because I'm connecting with people from everywhere around the world, and that it was kind of limited when I spoke only Spanish, even if Spanish is a language spoken in many places as well. But as you kind of learn more languages, Mika, Tatiana, you create more connections, more doors to understand more population in our planet. So in a way, there was a part of my heart wishing to create a new language that we could all understand. And I know that light languages came to us for that reason. Make us Tiana, but there is still a lot of brothers and sisters who refuse the light languages just because they don't logically understand them, because they don't perceive them with the heart. And there was like a part of me wondering how, or questioning the reality about, in terms of how are we going to be in peace if we still don't know each other. That's why we are not at peace, because we still don't know what other cultures are and how they feel. But once you start talking with people from Australia, New Zealand, England, when you start merging with them and communicating with them, you just connect. You just connect in a way that you start understanding that this is really our home. This is really the place where we are meant to be sharing everything, because there is enough for everyone. So a part of my existence or understanding or awareness few days ago was like, maybe we need to create a language that is common for everyone, so that we can accept each other for what we are, miga katiana, just by having some contact, because that contact is what gives us the sense of having empathy, mahata to each other, mahata, tiana, that exchange of frequency, that exchange of energy. Hatiana is what makes us feel as one. Hatu tiana.
I agree with that, but I don't know about this whole we create a language, because I think it's
I don't know either.
I think it's something that will intrinsically just expand through us or from us. And then what I was going to say, and you just said it at the last, it's all about, to me, it's the energy of frequency. So, you know, even with the light language, I mean, there are so many different frequencies within that, and we still channel different meanings from what we speak. So we don't necessarily understand each other, but we do kind of channel that, what could say, the English translation of it. So we clearly understand the energy of that frequency, what the meaning is behind that. So I really just think it's about frequency, and to me, like, I'm just like, language, the only language I really want is telepathy, because I think
that's what I was going to say.
Connecting with the energy through telepathy, and nobody can bullshit you. Well, sorry about the language, but nobody can bullshit you, because you can feel that frequency and that energy when you're connecting with that telepathic connection.
That's what I was getting as an answer, because it was my human mind questioning, do we need a language? Do we need a language for everyone? That was my human part. And then minutes later, I was getting telepathy. So I was asking the universe, so what is going to happen? That eventually the frequency on Earth is going to vibrate in a way that everyone will understand telepathy or will have activated telepathy? And maybe that is going to happen. Maybe that is
not to say that we can't speak vocally, but we will, if we choose to. But I think telepathy will be the main form of communication at some point in the future.
Oh, yes, exactly. I was going to say
we
the
are
same
headed
thing
there.
when we were talking, that's exactly what I think that would be the next language for sure, would be that.
But I want it now.
Yeah.
I
want to have that fun now.
I think it's kind of birthing at the moment. You know, we're sort of in that early stage where we are where the birthing of this ability will occur, will progress.
I can't wait. I'm always like, I just can't wait. I want it to happen.
I mean, some people already have it, like, you know, with if you have
we have it when we speak here.
You already have it with that person. I had it with my father. You know, we used to, like, we didn't deliberately communicate telepathically, and it took me a while to even realise that was going on, because he would say something just as I was thinking it, or I would say something just as he was thinking it, and it wasn't until that happened so many times we realised that we're actually must have been communicating telepathically.
Yeah, I truly believe that we are already experiencing that. And
it's just a matter of expanding it.
Yes.
To include everyone, not just a specific person who's close to you.
Yes, exactly. And that's the way we also get the messages from Gaia and from other beings. It's because we feel them. If anyone asks me, how do you channel? I will say it's telepathy, it's pure telepathy. It's not about me thinking, what do I need to say next? And also, memory is like now going back to that day 3 or 4 days ago and sharing my experience, because I wanted to know what is your opinion about it also. So what are your thoughts about it, or feelings makia tanu tu tia makata. But yeah, I also believe that the light languages are helping a lot with this process, a lot, because when we gather, we feel that the frequency raise a lot, and when the frequency raise a lot, it's like we start saying things that maybe I was meant to say, and then Sister Wendy suddenly say what I was just about to say. Maka chaniya tantiana, and this is happening more and more as we go on.
Absolutely, exactly. Yep, I love it.
Yeah,
well,
I love it too.
Even Bashar said that is how their race became like awakened, if you will. They, for 3 days, everyone across their entire planet became telepathically connected.
I didn't know that.
3 full days, they all experienced a telepathic connection with each other, and from that point on, that's what they called their Shah, their Shakana. That was what happened. They all became, from that point on, telepathically connected, and yet you can still have your own private thoughts. You can still, but the idea is, you know, they are all connected, and they understand that they're all connected, and they just see themselves as one entire large family. That is how they live. All children are everyone's children. I mean, so anyway, that gets into a much longer story, but it is a place of living light. That is why they call their planet the place of living light, and they don't put anything, structures or anything, on their planet.
As you were saying that, I got the message, you need to heal your heart first.
Yep, that's exactly correct.
You need to heal your heart first. Because once you heal it, you have already the predisposition, the opening, the flow to connect. Mika Atotiana, the opening, Mahatiana, to each other. The understanding that you are part of everything. So yeah, we need to heal. There are still layers to heal, and I can see that especially with this blood moon. Oh my God, I had so many people contacting me, going through so many changes and transformation and pain, and yeah, so much healing going on. Hamoka chuachato ache tapoko amako otenika auto sana ahana o tatiana. May the fire kuana transmute and transcend hatuta achana, anything that you don't need. Makana teniana, for your highest good. Kumusa to achana kuacha chichautu to chuchiana wa chanawata chawanatiana. I'm hypnotized with the fire, mukwacha, as I always get hypnotized.
Yep,
it.
So do we. We absolutely love sitting by the fire. We love it so much. Yep.
I remember since I was a boy that I used to get like that, like completely gone, just by watching the flames, and I was getting like messages that at the time I didn't know that I was channeling, but now I am aware of it. Mahuatana, and I think a good way is someone wants to practice channeling, watch the fire, or watch a candle and stir the candle, and you will start allowing the flow of messages, of sensations.
That's how I started channeling. The candle really? That is how I started channeling, was with the candlelight. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Candlelight, me too.
And the angels were the first beings that I connected with were the angels, just by intentionally lighting the candle and saying, I am so grateful for your presence. I was looking for just physical healing, emotional healing, and all those ideas, and I started learning that yes, you need to ask for help. You have to ask them for help. But they're supporting you, always they're, helping us. But it wasn't about asking for help. What I discovered was it was about thanking them, being grateful for them already being there. It wasn't about that they're not doing their job or that they're not there all the time or that they only appear when I want them to. That's not the way it is. It was about invoking the gratitude of their presence already in my life, and that changed everything.
Yeah. That's like us opening the door to them so that
Yes.
they can interact. Tiana, I noticed that I placed there sparks of fire, but I also I created some snow. Hatiana, snow and fire. Kuahana totamo taicha wata teana. Kienekana. Abduma kachuana kata. Hamu kwanatiana. It represents the snow represents the crystallization, the manifestation. Makuana kuana tusanetiana, what we create. Mika not maybe not always, but here that's what is telling me that why I felt guided to put the snow and the fire together. Huanatiana, Huanatiana. And also the representation of whatever is solid, you can transmute it and melt it. Mikana, as you melt the snow. Kaana teana. Shona kuana tuana.
Everything just transmutes. It can never.
Everything transmute.
It just transmutes, like fire, like ice, like water, like steam.
Exactly. How they were showing me that how the fire melts the snow and the crystal becomes steam and become part of everything. Kuatano sau huanatoa saichata sahwatana. Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Huachana wanachana huachania.
Well, I'm happy we were able to share our fire with you on this day.
Thank you. That was so awesome. So
It's
awesome.
beautiful. I'm glad you did.
It's wow, yeah. It's incredible to have the image just like that. Pakwa tenia tatena. They say if you want to practice in future events, you can also set a fire like that and practice channeling by looking at the fire. Mahateana with other people.
Awesome.
It's a way of activating others to channel.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's why they have, well, I know that's why they do drum circles and drum circles around the fire, because
Yes.
it puts everyone into a channeling state.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think the drums it will be now like an additional thing to help
Yes.
us channeling. Magwana, Sashiana, Watatiana. They are so, yeah, they go on together so well. Mahateana, Siatiana. Thank you for coming, lovely souls,
Oh,
lovely,
thank you all
lovely
so much, of
sisters
course.
and brother.
Thank
Hotiana.
Once you stop recording, Ismael, would you stay on? I'd just like to have a chat afterwards, or even Wendy if you do, but like once we stop recording, I've just got something
okay,
to talk about.
we can do that.
Thank you.
Brother Dave, Kuachanawata, thank you, Sister Wendy, Kawane Chianawata, Sawanata, have a lovely weekend.